No teaser, no notif, Jungkook and Jimin BTS today secretly recording. There are no signs. There is no teaser. No mysterious uploads on social media. No voice or video leaks from staff. But silence is precisely the loudest clue, and as always, ARMY is more sensitive than any algorithm. Today, there was an uproar throughout the fandom. Jimin and Jungkook, two of BTS's youngest members, were again captured in an activity that made fans' hearts beat faster. They're in the studio together, and they're recording. Quietly, this news first emerged from several fan sites and insider accounts that are known to be accurate. Young reported that Jimin's voice could be heard faintly from a studio in the southern Seoul area. A few hours later, an independent music staffer uploaded a cryptic story, just the sound of a piano, but with the location label HYBEB1. It didn't take long for fans to hook up. What's more, shortly afterwards, Jungkook is seen coming out of the back door of the building, wearing a dark hoodie and a mask, accompanied by his manager, got into a black van without a license plate commonly used for unofficial schedules. Suddenly, the internet boils. This discreet recording not only reminds the public of the old-era BTS promotional style, when their projects are often developed in silence, but it also begs the question, what are they preparing for? Is this a solo song? Is this a duet? Is this part of the BTS 2026 project that has recently started to be discussed a lot? Interestingly, this is not the first time Jimin and Jungkook have been seen together a lot lately. In recent weeks, the two have reportedly often been seen spending time together, from a beach in Busan, a closed cafe, up to a trip to America claimed as a private vacation. But it turned out to involve a visit to the famous recording studio in Los Angeles. These signs are like puzzle pieces that slowly begin to form the big picture. Some fans even found out that one of the producers who used to work with BTS had suddenly started following Jimin and Jungkook's Instagram accounts at the same time. It's too much of a coincidence that this is just an ordinary gathering, but the most touching of all is the way they work: calm, sincere, and silent. Not many celebrities at their level still choose this path. Amidst the thrill-seeking world of the entertainment industry, Jimin and Jungkook stick to the power of silence and surprise. They let the music speak first. While there has been no official statement from Big Hit or HYB, many believe that the results from today's recording will be an important part of BTS' big comeback phase next year. Some people even say that this song can be an emotional bridge to connect BTS past with their new era after all members have completed their military service. Today is a happy day for the ARMY. In the midst of uncertainty, this news is like a warm hug that comes without warning. No teaser, without notification. But it feels so real. The night began to fall in Seoul, but the studio lights in the basement of the HYB building had not yet gone out. The staff began to decrease one by one, and only certain cars were still parked in the back area. These special vehicles are commonly used for the secret schedules of the top artists. Some people who happened to pass by claimed to hear high vocal notes that were very similar to Jimin's voice. Some testified hearing Jungkook's falsetto as they passed the sidewalk near the studio's rear hauling area. Further corroborating the notion that this was a serious recording project was the fact that security around the site was suddenly increased. Unknown people, including the ARMY who were desperate to try to peek from a distance, were asked to stay away by security officers. Even the surveillance cameras around the outside area are shifted at an angle, as if deliberately avoiding the possibility of leaking the artist's activities from the inside. One of the sources close to HYB's inner circle conveyed indirectly that there is one important recording session today, although he declined to say who the artist is. But all his tracks lead to two names: Jimin and Jungkook. What makes it all feel more profound is the fact that they chose to work in silence at a time when many people are vying to create hype. They don't need an artificial explosion. It doesn't take controversy to attract attention. Both understand that what fans are looking for is not just music, but sincerity in every tone and process. It is not impossible that the song being recorded is part of their emotional transition from the military era to the return of the BTS era. Jimin is known to be poetic and deep in his lyrics, and Jungkook often writes based on pure feelings and personal experiences. become an ideal partner to produce songs that are not just catchy, but also contain soul. Some industry observers even predict that this song could be one of the early anthems of BTS's return to the world music stage, a kind of greeting from their new generation, adult, reflective, but still burning. What's even more interesting? From some overseas fandom uploads that monitor the studio's schedule in America, it was discovered that one of the studios they had visited a few weeks ago was scheduled to mix a song titled JK Project next week. It's not clear yet if this is code for a duet project or just internal naming, but it's enough to make speculation grow wild. Without a single upload from the artist in question, this trend shot to the top of the rankings on various platforms. This is a collective force of global fandom that is already well acquainted with the rhythms of its idols. On Twitter, TikTok, and even Knet's forums, many began to guess the genre of the song being recorded. Some hope it's an emotional ballad like Promise or Still With You. Some suspect that this is an upbeat song with a summer theme, given that they were spotted on the beach some time ago. But whatever the genre, one thing is certain, the song will not come mediocre. Because the two figures behind it, Jimin and Jungkook, always put their hearts completely in every work. Hours after word of their secretly recorded activity spread, social media exploded with various theories. Fans began comparing their activity patterns to when BTS released Black Swan without a big teaser, a release that is considered one of the most artistic works in the group's discography. Many speculated that Jimin and Jungkook's silent approach this time was not a coincidence. Rather, it is a strategy that they deliberately choose to create an emotional and unforgettable surprise. What makes this day feel so special is how these two idols seem to be returning to their artistic roots. No crowds, no spotlights, only microphones, instruments, and an intimate atmosphere that allows both to honestly explore the music. A technical staff member from HYB, who declined to be named, told one fan forum that the studio atmosphere that day was quiet but full of creative tension. Jimin is said to have resung the chorus 10 times, trying to catch the right emotion. Jungkook, on the other hand, sat behind the mixing console, fitting Jimin's vocals with instrumentation that touted an electronic minimalist feel. The two, according to the source, look very focused. No cell phones, no outside interference. Just them and the music. Even when dinner was served, they remained seated in their respective places, continuing to listen to their recordings through headphones, talking about little notes that might sound trivial to others, but not to Jimin and Jungkook. Towards midnight, the black van that used to drive them to the secret location finally left the HYB building. But unlike usual, this time the fans did not wait outside. They chose to honor this moment of silence, as if knowing that something was being prepared with all their heart. Meanwhile, several fanbase accounts with connections to the International Insider Network revealed that the song is likely part of a multilingual project. This is reinforced by the news that Jimin had asked his English vocal coach to appear online during a training session last week. Jungkook is working on Japanese lyrics with Universal Music Japan. All this suggests that the project is not just a whim collaboration. This is part of something much bigger, maybe a duet mini-album or the opening part of BTS's 2026 album that is now slowly starting to be worked on. Whatever it was, it is clear that this project was created not just to occupy the charts, but also to convey their taste, story, and growth during the military hiatus.